Hey, Celtics Nation! We're back with an exclusive video and the latest updates on our beloved Boston Celtics. Before we dive in, make sure to subscribe to the channel and hit that like button. This way, you'll always stay up to date and never miss out on any exclusive news. The NBA world is spinning wildly after whispers started circulating late last night, suggesting that the Boston Celtics have pulled the trigger on one of the boldest moves in recent franchise history, sending JAYLEN Brown to the San Antonio Spurs in what insiders are already calling a bombshell blockbuster. While nothing has been officially confirmed, the noise around the league is getting so loud that it's almost impossible to ignore, and the idea of Brown joining forces with the rising phenomenon Victor Wembanyama has fans, analysts, and even players scrambling to make sense of what this could mean for both organizations. Rumor has it that the Celtics front office, long committed to the Tatum-Brown duo, reached a tipping point behind closed doors as debates intensified about whether Boston's core had truly reached its ceiling, especially after yet another season full of high expectations and gut-wrenching playoff frustrations. According to sources close to those talks, the discussions about Brown's fit in a long-term blueprint grew uncomfortably honest, pushing the Celtics into exploring scenarios that would have been unthinkable even a few months ago. Now, with the idea of Brown in a Spurs jersey gaining momentum, the narrative around Boston's future is shifting in seismic fashion. What adds fuel to this swirling inferno of speculation is the buzz that the Spurs have been aggressively looking for a co-star capable of elevating Wembanyama into instant contender territory, and JAYLEN Brown, an explosive scorer, tough defender, and proven postseason performer, fits the bill better than almost anyone on the market. People close to the situation claim that San Antonio's front office has been quietly framing this season as the moment to stop calling Wembanyama the future, and instead start calling him the foundation, which means surrounding him with players who are already built for deep playoff battles. Brown, who has carried major offensive loads in Boston and never shied away from high-pressure moments, is exactly the type of talent that Spurs fans have been begging for, and the idea of pairing his dynamic skill set with Wembanyama's once-in-a-generation versatility has quickly become one of the most intoxicating rumors in recent NBA memory. Insiders say Greg Popovich, though now more of an overseer than a daily grinder, still carries huge influence and has reportedly loved Brown's competitive DNA for years. Another angle that's making this rumor explode is the sense that Boston might be using this moment to shift toward a roster that better complements Jason Tatum's evolving game. There's been chatter that Tatum, stepping deeper into his role as the franchise's true cornerstone, has been pushing for a structure that gives him more flexibility and clearer offensive control, something that's been harder to maintain with Brown needing similar space to operate. League insiders say Celtics executives have quietly debated whether the two stars overlap too much in their preferred spots, and whether diversifying the team's offensive identity could finally push Boston over the hump. The rumored trade package coming from San Antonio supposedly includes a mix of high draft capital and young talent, pieces that could give the Celtics more long-term balance while allowing them to build a lineup tailored more precisely around Tatum's style. And while Celtics fans are torn between heartbreak and curiosity, the idea of unlocking a fresh era has undeniably gained traction inside TD Garden conversations. As for San Antonio, the momentum behind their renewed identity has become one of the league's most fascinating subplots, with Wembanyama's meteoric rise accelerating their rebuild far faster than anyone anticipated. People around the team say the Spurs weren't expecting this level of impact so quickly, and that the front office has been recalibrating its strategic timeline at warp speed. That's why rumors suggest they might be willing to give up more than usual to land a co-star who's already playoff tested and capable of handling primary scoring duties on any given night. JAYLEN Brown checks every one of those boxes, and according to several well-connected voices around the NBA, the Spurs have been eyeing him since his All-NBA jump. What's especially intriguing is that Brown's defensive toughness and physicality could free Wembanyama to roam more creatively on that end, while also giving San Antonio the go-to wing presence they've been missing since the Kawhi Leonard era. The fit, on paper, looks so compelling that many in league circles believe the Spurs would push aggressively to finalize the deal if the Celtics show even a hint of seriousness. The shockwaves of this rumor have also reached players, with some reportedly reacting in disbelief at the possibility of the Celtics breaking up a duo that many assumed would stay together for the next decade. Opposing stars have privately admitted that game planning for Brown and Tatum was one of the most difficult challenges in the league, and breaking that tandem would reshape the Eastern Conference landscape overnight. Some see it as Boston taking a massive risk that could backfire if the acquired assets don't pan out or if Tatum struggles to shoulder the entire offensive burden. Others, however, see the move as overdue, arguing that the Celtics have plateaued in their current formation and that banking on growth through change might be their only shot at rekindling true championship momentum. The league community is split, but one thing is certain. Everyone is glued to their phones, waiting to see if this rumor evolves into something real enough to shake the foundation of the NBA. What's even crazier is the timing. Right when the offseason market is heating up, but before teams have fully committed to their summer strategies. This creates a perfect storm where both franchises could be leveraging the rumor itself to gauge reactions, pressure rivals, or push ongoing negotiations in other directions. The NBA ecosystem thrives on smoke, and sometimes that smoke turns into the kind of fire that rewrites league history. Fans are dissecting every leaked quote, every anonymous statement, every cryptic emoji from players on social media, all trying to decide whether this is the typical rumor cycle chaos or something more substantial. And the longer the chatter refuses to die down, the more people begin to wonder if the Celtics and Spurs have already gone deeper into talks than anyone is willing to publicly admit. The second wave of rumors emerging today has only intensified the frenzy, with anonymous insiders claiming that Boston's front office might actually prefer a clean strategic reset, rather than continuing to invest in a core that has delivered incredible consistency, but no championship breakthrough. There's talk that the Celtics are fascinated by the idea of using the assets from a potential Spurs deal to reshape their identity around defensive versatility and offensive spacing, potentially building a younger and more balanced roster that fits the modern pace and space philosophy. What's wild is that some sources insist Boston's analytics team has been pushing internally for months to explore big swing opportunities, arguing that the team's statistical ceiling might already be capped with the current star structure. The idea of combining multiple first-round picks with an injection of young Spurs talent could offer the Celtics exactly the toolbox they need to rebuild on the fly, without fully entering a rebuild. And with the Eastern Conference getting stronger every year, this might be the moment they decide to evolve before they're forced to. Meanwhile, whispers from inside San Antonio paint an entirely different emotional landscape, one filled with excitement, urgency, and a sense that the franchise is once again on the cusp of something special. People around the organization reportedly believe that landing a star like JAYLEN Brown would instantly pull them out of the slow rebuild phase and into the fast lane of contention, particularly with Wembanyama progressing at a pace almost no one could have predicted. There's speculation that the Spurs are ready to take a gamble reminiscent of the aggressive moves they made during the Tim Duncan era, when opportunities to secure established stars were never ignored. With Wembanyama already drawing comparisons to generational greats, the idea of pairing him with a fearless, high-octane scorer has ignited a level of enthusiasm within the organization that hasn't been seen in years. And when a front office believes its window is arriving sooner than planned, bold moves stop being risky. They start being necessary. Another layer of intrigue comes from JAYLEN Brown's own situation, as several commentators have pointed out that he might welcome a fresh start where he isn't constantly navigating the dual alpha dynamic with Jason Tatum. Even though both players have remained publicly respectful and committed, rumor mills have long suggested that Brown felt underrated at times and was eager for a setting where he could operate as an unquestioned primary leader. San Antonio, a franchise famous for structure, development, and star empowerment, might be the perfect landing spot for him to truly stretch his wings and embrace his full potential. Adding him to a young core and a coaching staff known for maximizing talent could create a version of Brown that the league hasn't fully seen yet. One who commands the offense, anchors the perimeter defense, and shapes the identity of a team built around his strengths. Whether or not that's actually what Brown wants, the rumor has taken on a life of its own, and fans are already imagining him in silver and black. While the basketball world continues to lose its collective mind, some insiders caution that trades of this magnitude often create long shadows even when they don't happen. Sometimes, the mere existence of a rumor this explosive forces front offices to confront difficult questions, rethink priorities, and seek clarity about their long-term direction. For Boston, even entertaining the possibility of trading JAYLEN Brown could reshape how they operate moving forward, whether the deal materializes or not. For San Antonio, being connected to a star of Brown's stature signals that the franchise is stepping confidently into the next era rather than passively waiting for growth. The ripple effects could influence future negotiations, draft strategies, and free agency pursuits across the league. And as always, rival teams are watching from the sidelines, assessing whether they need to jump into the race or modify their own plans to stay competitive. The emotional reaction from fans has reached a fever pitch, with Celtics supporters split between devastation and excitement. Some can't fathom the idea of letting Brown walk away just as he's entering the prime of his career, while others are already envisioning a brighter future built on flexibility, youth, and a more harmonious fit alongside Tatum. Spurs fans, on the other hand, are practically buzzing with the kind of energy that only a blockbuster rumor can generate. Social media has exploded with fan-made graphics of Brown and Wembanyama celebrating playoff victories, and many are dreaming of a new Spurs dynasty rising sooner than expected. It's the type of rumor that injects adrenaline into fan bases, flips narratives upside down, and sparks debates that last for weeks, even if the trade never leaves the negotiation table. But before we continue, please remember to subscribe to the channel and give the video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest news about the Boston Celtics. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. And so the NBA waits, phones in hand, timelines refreshing, insiders whispering, front offices negotiating in shadows. Whether JAYLEN Brown is truly packing his bags for San Antonio, or whether this is simply another thunderous rumor destined to fade, the impact has already been felt across the league. It's a reminder that in the NBA, stability is an illusion. Stars are movable, and no franchise, no matter how iconic, no matter how successful, is ever immune to change. As the noise grows louder and the tension continues to build, the basketball world stands at the edge of its seat, wondering if this will become one of the most shocking trades of the decade or one of the most unforgettable what-ifs in recent memory. Finally, the potential arrival of Nikola Jokic in Boston represents not just a rumor, but a seismic catalyst capable of altering the NBA landscape in ways few could have anticipated. Sources indicate that the Celtics are meticulously planning for every scenario, evaluating draft picks, roster adjustments, and the subtle dynamics of player integration to maximize both on-court performance and team culture. Fans imagine every game, every play, every clutch moment transformed by a center who combines intelligence, vision, and scoring efficiency at unprecedented levels. Analysts argue that his arrival could trigger an era of innovation, prompting rival teams to adjust defensive strategies, rethink rotations, and reimagine their own team-building approaches. Social media and fan forums overflow with excitement, speculation, and even anxiety about the implications, as Boston's potential reconfiguration could shift power balances, redefine strategy, and elevate the league's competitive intensity. Rumors suggest that this is not just about basketball, but about creating a narrative, a legend, and a potential dynasty that could redefine the Celtics' identity for years to come. In every conversation, video analysis, and discussion thread, the idea of Jokic in green continues to captivate, excite, and provoke debate, ensuring that the basketball world will be watching closely, hanging on every hint, and imagining the possibilities of a transformed Boston Celtics, with the Joker at the helm. The anticipation surrounding Jokic's rumored move to Boston has created a unique energy, blending excitement, speculation, and strategic analysis across all levels of the basketball world. Fans continue to imagine the game-changing potential of pairing his unparalleled passing and scoring abilities with the Celtics' existing stars, projecting scenarios where he could dictate playoff series and influence entire seasons. Analysts predict seismic shifts in defensive planning, rotations, and even the philosophy of other franchises forced to adapt to a new Celtics paradigm. Social media platforms are buzzing with hypotheticals, debates, and imaginative simulations, each exploring what a Boston team led by Jokic might look like in practice, in highlight reels, and in championship contention. Inside sources hint at intricate negotiations, with every detail scrutinized, from cap space and contracts to chemistry and leadership fit. Beyond basketball, there's talk of cultural influence, branding opportunities, and broader implications for how teams build around generational talents in the modern NBA. Every angle considered, every speculation shared, contributes to a growing narrative that has captured imaginations worldwide. The Celtics could be on the precipice of a transformative era, led by one of the game's most extraordinary players, and the rumor alone has already begun reshaping expectations, conversations, and dreams across the league and among fans eager for the next great chapter in NBA history. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Boston Celtics, please subscribe to our channel and give the video a like. We always appreciate your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.